In this video, we're going to look at more creative ways to create new geometry. And we're going to do that by looking at commands like Extrude, Inset, Bevel, and all other kinds of interesting ways to go about it. So, what we kind of discussed in the previous video was how we can manipulate the edges and the vertices of these primitives. So right now we're going to create some new geometry on these primitives, which we can manipulate further. To do so, up here from object mode, we're going to go to edit mode, like we did previously, and we're going to start looking at these features over here, which sort of pop up when you go into edit mode. So firstly, the main one that we're going to be looking at is mostly visible and can be felt the strongest if we are in face mode. So I select one of these faces and I click over here on the extrude region. And just let me show you for a quick sort of point of reference. Once you go to edit mode, you might have any other tool selected, like say move or select. You just go over here and press extrude region, and you select the face that you want to extrude, and you get this nice little gizmo here, on which if you press, boom, you're creating new geometry. How do we know that it's new geometry and not simply this thing moved upwards? Well, if you look closely, you can see that a new face is created over here on the top, and we have this edge loop over here. So we're going to extrude a bunch of faces so you can see just how this works. Boom. I select the face, I press, and I extrude as much as I want to. And you can see that I'm starting to form whatever it is that I want to form. Pulling, and I'm extruding. So this is kind of the way to do things freehand. But what do we do when you say want to extrude something by an exact amount? Let's say I want to extrude this by a couple of meters. If I drag over here, you can see that we get this little tiny pop-up over on the utmost left side, bottom left. And here you have the exact amount by which you have extruded the thing. Let's say we want to extrude it by 2 meters. Sorry? Boom, 2, and it's by 2 meters. Let's say if we want it to be by 3 meters. 1.5. 1. Basically, we can extrude it by however much we want if we want a precise amount. 2.5. Thing is, the moment we drop the extrude tool by clicking anywhere on another face or in the blank viewport, we lose the option of having this thing being extruded by an exact amount, so we have to press undo a couple of times. But let's try this experiment again. I'm going to click here, I'm going to pull, and I'm going to type 3 over here. Boom. This is the context menu, through which 0.5, by which we can do these extrusions. Now that we've covered this, let's take a look at other things we can do with these faces. So we've covered the extrude, but there is another thing we can take a look at, and that's the inset command. So what the inset command does, if we select a face after we've picked or before we've picked the inset faces tool, if we select a face and pull on the gizmo, you can see that it basically insets the geometry. What we can do now is inset it a bunch, and you can see it creates brand new geometry over here for us to work with. So how is this useful? Well, let's say we want to create a hole here. Let's inset this, and you guessed it, we're going to use extrude, but in the negative direction, and we're going to push the geometry on the inside. So here's another way the extrude tool can work. It can create negative extrusions. If we push up, it creates a positive extrusion. If we push down, it pushes on the inside of the geometry. Boom. Let's select multiple faces, holding Shift and clicking on them. Or holding Shift and clicking on the side, right over here. Double clicking on the side. If we pull down, again, we extrude on the inward of the volume. If we pull on the outside, we extrude on the outward of the volume. Let's pull it down. Okay, so up until this point, we've covered the extrude and the inset. Now let's take a look at something even more interesting. Let's take a look at the bevel tool. Now, if we select, for example, let's say this face, and we go to the bevel tool, which is over here. This is the inset tool, this is the extrude tool, this is the bevel tool. And we drag, you can see that it creates bevels on the outer edges of the face. And the more you repeat the procedure, the more bevels it creates. Each and every one of the menus that we've looked at up until now has this context menu, which we opened for the extrude, this one right here on the left. One thing we can work with here is the exact width by which we want to bevel. You can see I'm dragging here in this field. That's the exact amount of bevel that we want. Also the segments. Look what happens if I add more segments. It adds edge loops, and basically the geometry becomes more and more high res. But there is one other thing we can do. If you look at shape, you can see that if I sort of drag across this field, it can change the direction of the bevel. So, to repeat this, let me select another face and let me start beveling. I drag, and now let's say I want to make this way more high res. I come over here and I start to add segments. Let's say I want to turn it inward. I swipe in the negative here, not in the negative, but in closer to 0. And it turns the angle. Let's say I want to make it pop in the other direction. Boom. That's something you have to try for yourself to see how it feels. One other thing we can do with bevel, and it gives us a bit more of a precise control, is to go to edge right over here in the top left corner, select edge, and select the edges we want to bevel. Let's say we want to bevel these edges here. I select this one edge and shift double click to select the entire edge loop. And now I can bevel just these edges. To see this more clearly, I can do it also with the inner edge. Now you can see I'm beveling just the edges. What I can do here is pretty much the exact same thing I can do with the faces. And that's adding more geometry, making it more high res, turning the shape. You can see how that turns out. Let's do it a couple of more times over here. Boom, boom, double clicking and selecting all of these, boom. We can do it on a single edge like this one, and you can see how it bevels a single edge. Let's try it here as well. And right now, while we're in this mode, in edge mode, I can show you one tool that's really friendly for modeling, and that's the loop cut tool. The loop cut tool is found right below the bevel tool and is mostly used in edge mode, which we're in now. So what it does is when you hover over an edge, it slices the entire edge loop that edge belongs to. So let me just go back to the select tool so I can show you this. If I want to cut straight through this edge right here, and I double click, and I click on it, sorry, mistake in speaking. If I click on this edge, you can see that this edge belongs to basically this group of edges right over here. So if I use the loop cut, it will make this cut across all edges in the edge loop. Now, if I drag, I can position this cut however I wish. It's a freeform positioning. But let's say I want to have a cut exactly in the middle of a geometry piece. Let's say I want to cut exactly in the middle of this thing here. In that case, I just click one time and don't drag anywhere. If I have started to drag like this, I can simply press escape and it will snap back to the middle. Why would we want to add something like this? Let's undo a couple of times. Let me add this one right here, this edge loop. Why would I want to add this edge loop right here? Well, let's say that I want to create kind of like a surrounding volume across like this, sort of like a hat kind of thing. You'll see what I'm talking about once I start doing it. So now that I've created this edge loop over here with the cut, I can go to faces and I can double click right over here and I select basically everything that I've created up until now, and I can start working with it. I can scale it outward, inward, do everything I want with it. But what I mostly want to do with it is extrude it. So what would happen if I press extrude? Woo, that's not the behavior that I want. What's happening here? Well, basically what's happening here is that the default extrude that we've used up until now only extrudes across a certain plane, which is the normal of the entire geometry. Like, if I select these things, they're going to extrude strictly forward and backward. If I want to extrude this entire region, I want to create an extrusion that's along the normals of each and every one of those faces, not across the combined direction of them. So I'm going to need to use a different extrude tool. If I hover over the extrude, which we've used up until now, and hold left click, I get a bunch of options. We're going to look at the extrude along normals option right now, which is the one we actually want. So right now, if I click and drag, you can see that the extrusion is just what I wanted. It extrudes along the normals and creates the geometry that I wanted it to create. So what would happen if I use, say, for example, extrude along individual? It extrudes the individual faces, which creates basically this mess right now, but it might be the thing you need on a future thing that you want to do. along normals extrudes along the normals of each and every face, and the region extrudes along the normal of the particular region, which is going in that particular direction. So let's try this again, so we can get a better idea of it. Let's say I want to make a lid from these here. So I click Shift and I select the lid that I want to create. If I use Extrude region, these will go just forward. I don't want that. If I use Extrude along normals, it creates the lid that I was talking about. And if I use individual, it creates an extrusion across each and every one of the polygons. But not here, like this piece is skipped because there isn't anything here to extrude. Now, let's take a look at something a bit more specific. If I use extrude along normals, you can see that there is a slight distortion here. That's because the normal of this thing starts to point outward. In order to get a more precise lid here, like more squarish, I need to tick offset even from the pop-up box over here. So right now, boom, we have everything in order. Okay, so lastly, before we go, I want to show you the knife tool, which again is something that we can use in each and every mode, but it's for the best if we use it in vertex mode. So what does the knife tool do? It cuts geometry from the point where you click and click and click, and once you press enter, the geometry becomes permanent. So let's do something creative. Let's carve out a shape, for example, here in across this thing, across this plane. So I'm gonna do this, 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 this. I'm freehand drawing here, like basically minding my own business. And once I click enter, this becomes an actual face. And if I go to extrude, you guessed it, I can push that thing inward now. I've created new geometry here. This is really cool because what we can do, aside from just creating random shapes, is also, like I'm going to create a random shape here. Once again, press enter to confirm. Go to faces and select these faces and extrude, go back to vertices. One thing we can do here is also use the knife tool to connect vertices to form an edge between two vertices. So you can see how the cursor changes when I'm not hovering over a vertex. You see it's green. When I hover over a vertex, it becomes yellowish. In that particular case, we do not create new vertex upon clicking. We simply connect the ones that already exist. While if I click here, I'm creating new vertices all across the board until I come over to a vertex that already exists, like this one here, or like this one here. Boom, I press enter. And you can do everything with this, like, let's say I want to go to face, I want to inset this thing, I can. I want to extrude it, let's say I want to extrude it up. Let's say I want to bevel this, I can. It's a bit of a weird shape, so the bevel might not look as good. And basically everything you kind of need to do, you can do it. Let's go back to object node and see our masterpiece. So yeah, that was it from this video and these basic methods of creating geometry. See you in the next video.